Welcome to my review for the MPJ camera lens kit for the iPhone 6 and 6S. There are all the bits laid out on the table in front of you. You'll see you get a tripod with this, which you really need with the telephoto lens, and there is the telephoto lens screwed in to the iPhone 6 case. I don't have an iPhone 6, but a friend of mine does, so I got him to do some testing for me. And here is the box that it comes in.
Lens kit. This
comes
is
with
specifically for the
a normal
iPhone.
piece
So
of
let's have a look and see
Amazon
what it looks
packaging
like.
like
Comes
that
in
to
a box
protect
like
it.
this with a piece
And
of
then
typical
you've
Amazon
got
wrapping
the
paper.
actual kit inside there, all nicely wrapped
And then
up.
it's nicely wrapped up inside.
That wrapping was actually a lot more
So
solid
just
than it
open it
looks,
up
and I've skipped
and see
over
what we
most
get
of the taking
this
it
kit.
off because it took me a couple of minutes to do.
Them in a bit of nice
And there
bubble
is
wrap
the
like
there
that,
is the
makes a bit
box
of sense.
inside with its
To make
nice
sure they're
little
safe.
cellophane wrapper. It's a good quality looking
So you
box.
can see this is
It's one of these boxes that's got a sort of a
designed to be
magnetic closing side, so you can put everything back into it if you want to store it.
So there's a number of these
You
lenses
also get
you can
some
get for
other
various
bits
phones.
in there for storage, which I'll show
They
you in a
vary
moment.
in
I'm just going
quality.
to open up the
They all enable you
little
to do things
sticky
that you wouldn't be
label.
able to do with the
Now
phone
what these
camera
lens
without
kits
them.
enable you to do is they enable you to extend
And
the
this
range of your
particular
camera
kit
so that you can do things that
does a
you
little bit
couldn't
more
do
than most.
otherwise. And this one, as I said,
Now you get
is
normal lens
unusual
cleaning
for
cloth.
me in that it's got a telephoto
You
in.
get a tripod with this
So
one,
here's the tripod again.
which is interesting because you don't normally get
It's a nice
tripod
solid
with a phone
tripod
lens
with
kit.
solid legs. It's
But
not
to
one
be
of the
honest,
little
I quite often
flexible ones
use
like you
a
sometimes
tripod
get.
with my camera when
And
I'm
these
taking
legs
with my
actually
camera phone
extend.
when I'm
I
taking
haven't pulled
serious
them out there, but
photographs.
they do actually
And this
extend.
is a really nice,
And that's a
small
good solid tripod there. And now I've
Nice
got
little bag
a
to put
bag
some of the
here
bits
which
in.
has got one of the lenses in. This lens here
And
is
this
actually
one
the wide angle and macro lens, which I haven't really tested
is
properly yet because
a
I was trying to use the
macro
wide
lens,
angle
it
lens
says
as a
on the
macro
side. So
lens
the
because
idea
I'd
of this
forgotten
lens
it's a two-part
is it enables
lens
you to take
and you have
really
to
good
unscrew it
close-up
to get the
photos.
macro bit, and then obviously the wide angle lens is for wide angle, not for close-up. So I'll do
And
some
this
playing
lens
around with
here
that tomorrow and add that to the video. Here we have the fisheye lens, which I
type you
did
will have seen
test
before.
today. And that really does enable your camera
This
to take
is
much wider
a
photographs
fisheye lens,
than you
a wide
could
angle
do
lens.
otherwise.
This will
And
work
I've got a
with
couple of
any
samples of
phone,
that at the end
not just
of
an
this
iPhone.
video.
They just fit
And there we are. I'm just
over
putting
the
it
camera
over
like that.
the
And
camera
then they
on
enable
my
you to take
Samsung Galaxy
wide angle photographs.
Mini S5 Mini there, and starting up the
See if I
camera
put it
app.
in the right position.
And I actually had it in
That's
selfie
okay.
mode, so I had to turn it round. But it works reasonably
Yeah,
well as a
that's-
wide-angle lens, and I did take some photographs out in the garden a couple of
That's
days
quite a
later, which
reasonable
I'll
wide
show you in a
angle
minute.
lens.
And I'm just about to stick it on my other phone for some reason or another. I'm not quite sure why I bothered to do that. And what else
You get
have
a
I
phone
got?
gripper
Here
here.
is there's
Obviously
the phone
you need a
gripper.
phone gripper if
Those
you're going
phone
to use
grippers
your
are
phone
really
on a
handy.
tripod
They
like that,
screw
'cause
onto a
not many
tripod, so you
phones
can use this
got
mini
tripod
tripod
mounting
with an
screws.
ordinary camera.
And
You can
here
also
is
use
the
it with
thing
your
which is
camera phone
unusual. I've
with the
not
grippy thing. And now I'm just getting the
previously used
telephoto
a
lens out.
telephoto lens
I've not had a telephoto
with
lens
a,
for
phone,
a phone before.
and that one
I guess that's
has
one
a
of the
little screw
advantages
fitting
of
on
the
it.
iPhone. The fact that you only have one sort of hardware means that people make things like the case which this
and
lens
here
goes
is
into
the
for the
here's
iPhone,
the
which you
camera
might not
case
get in the
that
much
they
more
all work
popular
with.
Android
the
range,
idea
because
is
there are
you
just
can
so many
screw the
different
lenses
models and it's difficult to
onto
predict
the
which one's
camera
going to
case
sell
like
better.
this. And
So
this
with the
particular camera
iPhone,
case
your advantage
is
is
for
the
an
hardware
iPhone.
is all the same.
So
With
an
Android,
iPhone
of course, the
6 in
advantage
fact,
is the hardware is
so
all
the,
different, so you get different capabilities.
camera hole
So
is in the
you
place
pay
where it
some
will
money,
be
you
for an
take your
iPhone
choice.
6.
And there it is.
And
it's
we'll
all screwed
try it out
together.
with an iPhone
And
6
I
tomorrow.
gave it to a friend of mine at work,
I'm
and he
just gonna have a
took
quick
some
look through the
photographs,
lens
which
and
I'll
see
show
what it
you
looks like.
in a minute. And here we are out in the garden. That's my camera phone taking a photograph of me with no lens on it. The tripod's sitting on the table in front of me, and now the tripod's in the same place, but this time I've used the fisheye lens. What I want to do tomorrow is to go and do the same thing with the wide angle, which I'll add to this before I put it onto YouTube. And here is the road outside of work. My colleague took a photograph looking down towards the Boots warehouse, and then he put the telephoto lens on and zoomed in and focused and so on. And that's the sort of thing you can do. You can see he's got really close in there. And there's another photograph that he took. This one is across the field towards a place which now does trampolining. And there is his close up, looking through the trees at the car park there. And finally, I'm going to add a couple of photos here which were taken in our car park, showing the sign of the factory where we both work. so you now all know that I work for Wicks and Wilson Limited. So here is the MPJ Lens kit macro lens on my camera. I'm looking at my tablecloth. If I just pull the lens off, you can see that the camera just can't focus at that distance. I have to come up quite a way before it will focus, and obviously I don't get in anywhere near so close. Now, I'm sure that a woven tablecloth isn't the most interesting thing you could use it for, but it does illustrate the point.